here in North Carolina and we've had such a great time. We're going to show you another fort, Fort Macon. We're going to the car races. You've got to go to the car races in North Carolina, right?
Absolutely.
And now we're in Lake Gaston. Beautiful place. We also trace the footsteps of Blackbeard.
Oh wow, that was interesting.
Yeah, come watch.
Hey everybody, we're in Beaufort, North Carolina. Or if you're in South Carolina, Beaufort.
We are here at the Maritime Museum today. They have a room on Blackbeard, who is known to frequent this area. And so today we're going to go learn about Blackbeard, and tomorrow we're going to go to Bath, where he actually lived for a time after they, what a beautiful bird, after a time that they captured the Queen Anne's Revenge and sunk it. So we'll go see, we're going to be all about Blackbeard for a couple of days.
There's a new movie out, you know, about pirates.
Oh no.
It's rated R.
The museum had a thorough display of the origins of the Coast Guard, which was really interesting.
If a ship wrecked off the banks, survivors would be rescued by a rope and harness shot from a cannon on the beach. If the seas were too rough, then survivors would be put into this metal tube and pulled through the waves to shore. It was harrowing, but it was effective. We spent most of our time learning about Blackbeard.
Queen Anne's Revenge was discovered on November 21st, 1996 by Intersol, a private research project.
To date, over 400,000 artifacts have been recovered, and more are being brought up every day. For more information, check the comments for a link.
We did a leisurely stroll around town. And grabbed a quick lunch. But what we really love is the water.
The next day we headed for Shackleford Island. The Outer Banks are a group of thin islands off the coast of North Carolina that stretch for 175 miles from the Virginia border to Cape Lookout.
This tiny strip of islands has several nicknames. One is the Graveyard of the Atlantic. Because of the shifting sandbars, this is very treacherous water. Another is Torpedo Alley. Who knew German submarines in World War II hung out here to sink ships? Just like pirates of old.
We really enjoyed the ferry ride to Shackleford Banks. It was just 25 or 30 minutes, but it was great. And there are wild horses on here. In fact, we're going to show you one right now.
They tell you not to try and approach the horses, as they are truly feral and will kick and bite.
These feral horses originally came from Spain between 1550 and 1600, and they were probably survivors of a shipwreck. There are supposed to be about 150 on the island. It's hard to believe.
How peaceful is this place? The natural beauty of the island was stunning. We had so many photo ops.
We were going to go to Ocracoke Island, which is in the Outer Banks, but big storm's coming. So we're here.
We're here. We're at Fort Macon. We don't know that much about it, but we're going to go see. Come join us.
It was raining, but that didn't stop us. This fort was very similar in architecture and equipment as Castillo de San Marcos in St. Augustine.
In 1923, it was sold to North Carolina for $1. More information on this fort is in a link in the comments.
Canned goods, being very expensive, were rare. Their food was either dried or salted. These are examples of men's daily rations.
The bread incident is a great story about how the men fought for these rations. Unedible bread was made during a siege. The men insisted on being given their own flour to do with as they pleased from then on.
All rooms were linked by an inner hallway.
These playing cards from World War II were made to familiarize soldiers with enemy aircraft.
This is a hotshot furnace. Soldiers would heat cannonballs and then fire them into ships to set them on fire. Really interesting artifacts from the Civil War to World War I. To more information is in the comments below.
If you're in North Carolina, you have to visit a good old hometown racetrack.
This is called a pre-race meet and greet. You have to have a pit pass to get down there.
This guy had the right idea.
Sporting event cuisine.
A car dedicated to our daughter? Caution, it could get loud.
Well, that was the races. It was amazing.
Could you believe Car B won? Oh my gosh, so exciting.
So exciting.
Like, today's Easter. He has risen indeed. Got to go to church.
And did we find an amazing church? Pastor Joe and his wife Sonia have built an amazing congregation of people who show the love of Jesus.
If you're ever in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, make this a must-stop and see place.
Easter dinner. Best scallops ever. Hi, we're in Bath in North Carolina.
When I was a kid, my favorite movie was Blackbeard Ghost with Peter Ustinov. Loved it. So while we're here in North Carolina, we kind of wanted to follow the trail of Blackbeard. After the wreck of the Queen Anne's Revenge, he's thought to have settled here because the governor pardoned him. Now some say the governor pardoned him because he was getting a kickback from Blackbeard, and some say make sure that the city was safe from Blackbeard and his pirates, and others say he might have been pardoned because he was an educated man and he and the governor had a lot in common. Who knows?
An interesting fact about Blackbeard that I didn't realize, he terrified people, but he actually didn't kill anybody.
Until the last battle,
Till the last battle.
which he was beheaded in.
Bad day for Blackbeard.
Edward Thatch was made a privateer in Queen Anne's War. When the war ended, he became Blackbeard the pirate. The Concord was captured by Blackbeard in 1717 and renamed Queen Anne's Revenge. In May 1718, he ran her aground in Beaufort Inlet and she sank.
In 1718, Edward Teach bought a house in Bath and married a teenage girl named Mary Ormond. A few months later, he returned to the pirate's lifestyle and was killed on November the 2nd in 1718. He was beheaded, and no one really knows what happened to Mary.
Blackbeard's house was thought to be here, or here. Bath had one of the nicest historical museums we've seen, but there wasn't a whole lot to do. We did see our first signs of spring here. Made a great drink here, and in 1898 they actually started calling it Pepsi-Cola. So we're going to go in and have a Pepsi where it was invented.
This old-fashioned soda shop was hopping.
Seth,
Hey, tell us about this place.
so basically this is where Pepsi was first created. It's the birthplace of Pepsi. It was created by Caleb Bradham, which was a pharmacist. And he created Pepsi originally to help your stomach. People would just come in and they liked the taste so much that they kept coming in and buying just the syrup and they would make it at their house. So eventually he decided, people liked the taste of it so much he would carbonate it and turn it into a soda.
How did you get the name Pepsi?
No one knows exactly. There's a few theories. I've heard one that it was originally used to help treat dyspepsia. And then there's an enzyme in your stomach called pepsin. And they think he kind of played on the word pepsin.
We got us a Pepsi-Cola in a bottle. They sell it just in the cups now too, and a bag of popcorn. We would be eating it in the place, but it's absolutely packed.
And I've so wanted to ask for a Coke.
What a beautiful little town. Very clean, very well kept. We see a lot of older towns that are deteriorating, and this town has really been cared for. And it's kind of nice to see. So New Bern is one of our favorite little small towns. Rob really enjoyed the popcorn.
New Bern, like Old Bern, had a lot of bears.
Lovely town.
Now that's good marketing.
By the Neuse River, they have, of course, a river walk. Now when you look down, they call this sweet tea color, but you can see the bottom. The river's clean. It's just colored by the cypress trees. S&T's Soda Shop was another treasure. The atmosphere was fantastic, the servers friendly, and the food great.
It was a beautiful drive to our next destination, Lake Gaston. Lake Gaston is a huge lake that separates North Carolina from Virginia.
Lake Gaston was beautiful, but it was very secluded, with hardly any Wi-Fi. So, we took a deep breath and relaxed. So that's it for North Carolina. We have really enjoyed digging through all the little corners of North Carolina, from the beach to the mountains. And now we're off to Williamsburg.
You know, North Carolina has been such a secret. You know, in the wintertime, there's no humidity and it's not cold. It's a great place to be. No mosquitoes either.
We'll see you in Williamsburg.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you like our videos, please press the subscribe button.